There are five techniques that I use in my classroom to help students and teens, and sometimes even their parents, like, get into a growth mindset. One is the power of yet.
Yeah.
Right. So when they come and they say, "Oh, I don't know how to do that. I can't do that." I'm like, "Yet." And they're like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. You can't right now on day one, but it's you can't do it yet because
Right.
before you leave, you will be able to." And they're like, "I miss him. The last teacher couldn't help me. Okay, great. I'm letting you know it's gonna happen."
Yeah.
And so I keep reinforcing that. And it's like, "Oh, see, I still haven't been able to do it yet." And I keep throwing it in there until they get to the point where they get annoyed. And when they say it, they're like, I know. I ain't done it yet. I got it, miss. I got it." But now even if you're not a believer, you're repeating it.
Yeah.
And if you keep repeating it, your brain's going to catch up, right? Getting students to like get to the same result, but then trying different ways to do it.
Right.
Right. I think that's all teaching is. If you
Yeah.
find a student who's not effective at doing this thing, you get them to do it in a different way, in a new way. And I think for I can speak to myself as a parent. Sometimes like, I got four kids and all of them needed to learn how to, you know, feed themselves. All of them needs to learn how to like, tie the shoes and brush the teeth but it's not a one size fits all
Right.
for life skills. It's not a one size fits all, especially when you talk about social emotional learning.
Mm.
And so, although the destination is the same, the things that work for you, and I'm talking to the parents, like they might not work for your child. You're gonna probably need to try it a different way.
Mm.
You want your child to be more confident. Okay,
Mm.
great. The things that make you more confident might not work for your child. And
Mhm.
so that's part of why we're here, giving you ways and strategies to do it in a different way. Teaching them how to have self-compassion. Like, okay, I'm not good at this. I can't. Okay, grace, right? You're just getting into high school, or you're just getting into college, or you're just coming out of middle school. There are a lot of things you haven't been exposed to. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, give yourself grace. And telling kids that because they don't have grace on themselves, and it's because no one is showing them grace. So they don't know what it looks like. They don't
Right.
know how to exhibit for themselves and for others, right? Focusing on the effort instead of the result,
Mm.
right? I think I recently went live talking about that my focus is not on the destination, it's on the journey.
Right.
Like, what am I learning through the process of doing this?
Yeah.
And I think if they focus on that, like before they know it, they're like, oh my gosh, like I actually got this. Like I
Yeah.
did it. I said, how did you do it? They're like, I stopped thinking about it.
Mhm.
And I'm focusing on all these other things. And one of the last things which you already mentioned was using positive affirmations. And so, in my health classes and my phys ed classes and my advisory classes, I do what's called circle keeping, and we sit in a circle, and we all share a positive thing about ourselves, a positive thing that we believe and we see now at the beginning of the school year, and one thing that we want to see at the end,
Mhm.
right? And then we do a recap at the end of the school year. Now, mind you, students are sitting around, they're like, Miss, I just want to play basketball. I'm like, all right, that's nice. We're gonna share some positive things about ourselves.
Right.
Right now, we're gonna share some positive things that we want to see at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right. And to see them grow and to become those things that they shared, that at the beginning they honestly had no idea that that would happen.
Yeah.
Right. It's always a joy. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be like part of that young person's journey to
Mhm.
discovering that, wow, like words are powerful. Words mean something, right? And so I want to round this out. In the next lesson, we're going to look at some ways that we can organize our lives so that after we've shifted our mindsets, we can put some of these things into practice and make sure that it's super effective by managing our time properly.